You made it in. You made it in. Settle down. Settle down. We're going to get started. We're going to get started. Yes, we're celebrating. We're celebrating tonight. Some people don't even know what we're celebrating, but, that's okay because we're going to talk about it here tonight on GoGi's After Dinner Jam. So glad you could make it in. So glad you chose to be here. These conference calls share all different flavors of ice cream, and you chose and selected to be here, and I appreciate that. I take nothing for granted. So thank you for choosing to be here. I choose you back. All right. So a great man once says, despise not small beginnings. And that man is Tyler Perry. And what happened today at the U.S. Supreme Court, by any means, it's not small. It's actually monumental, history-making stuff. And it's not only for the Muslim Americans, but for all Americans, and particularly for targeted individuals, for TIs everywhere across the globe. And we're going to talk about that a little later. It's important to note that when we celebrate every baby step, let me just do this with my phone, sorry. I hope you can still hear me. When we celebrate every baby step, we feel successful along the journey. And this helps us to usher in success into our lives and into the lives of others. And in this case, the life of others. For example, if our goal is to be free, to expose and dismantle the evil which is oppressing us, then we need to do everything in our power to make it happen. When we meet the smallest success, let's celebrate it. Let's celebrate it because the big celebration is coming, but every little step is a celebration. The antithesis of this is to criticize every step because it's not the hoped for end result. How about celebrating anyway? Tyler Perry started his plays. He would prepare and produce an entire production, and nobody would come. However, he didn't give up, but what if he had? He's certainly one of the richest men in the world right now. He's somewhere on that list. And he set a new path from quality films in record time with record-making budgets. He made his film quicker than the normal. I mean, they stay on the set for years, right? Faster and with less money. He went from being homeless to living in his car to making films with mansions where they just used mansions as a set and owning his own jaw-dropping studio. Albert Einstein didn't even speak until he was 4 years old. Nowadays, we would have taken him to the pediatrician. They would run all these tests, and he would have been considered developmentally delayed. Watch when they make labels on you, so on your children early, be careful. They would have considered him developmentally delayed, particularly since he didn't start reading until he was 7 years old. And now he is one of the names we throw out when we think of genius. He's a known genius, and he won the Nobel Peace Prize. What? I'm sorry. Something is different is going on here. Leave it. All right. That's doggy talk. All right. And when Sarah Blakely failed the LSAT, she knew her days of being a lawyer were few, so she started Spanx. And most, if not all women, now own a pair or a few. I can go on and on. Richard Branson, who owns Virgin, leave that, who owns Virgin Atlantic, Virgin Mobile, Virgin Records, Virgin Airlines. He was a high school dropout. So go figure. So, and what am I saying? How does this relate to us? Well, I'm saying that when you're on a mission, when we're at war, we have to be flexible. Let's stay positive. Let's persevere, and let's stay together. Sometimes things will not end up the way that we expected. but they will, whatever direction it takes, we have to go with it. Let's go with it. All right. So that's all I have tonight. I don't want to stay much here because we have a lot to talk about, and we have a jam-packed show. There was a special request last week or the week before to do supplements, so we have met your request. We've done some before in the past. I'll remind you about those, but I have some new ones. Some people are going to be on, and they're going to talk about some of the supplements that they use. So I'm going to start out with what's one thing that you have in your kitchen cabinet that you feel every household should have, and I'll start out with Himalayan pink salt. Salt is it's so delicious, right? But the white salt is really bad for us. It can cause high blood pressure, and you have to monitor it. Who wants to be on medication and so forth? And the medication has side effects. But Himalayan pink salt, it helps to balance your blood pressure. Whatever your pressure is, it helps to balance it. So it's a wonderful addition. You can still taste the flavor of salt and have something that's healthy. I'm not encouraging anybody to do anything that the doctor didn't say to do. So if the doctor said don't, then don't. But if you're going to have salt, make it pink. All right. So let's open up. Announce yourself, city and state you're from, and tell us what is one thing that you believe should be in your kitchen cabinet that's healthy for everybody. Welcome to the Jam, everybody. All right, so we're going to find that echo. We expected this. If you have noise in your background, like it sounds like somebody's in the car, please mute yourself so we don't have to mute you and boot you, and we don't have to mute everybody. All right, that's great.
Hi, GoGi's.
Getting there. Hi, welcome to the Jam.
Hi, this is Chris from Idaho. Glad to be
Hi, Chris from Idaho. Glad you made it in.
Thank you. I would say baking soda, because baking soda is also very good at cooking and also to put into your bath water to help pull toxins.
To help to do what? To help to do what, Chris?
To pull out the toxins.
Yes, beautiful. Thank you. It also takes those nanites out. Thank you so much for that, Chris. Baking soda. Absolutely.
Hi.
Good afternoon. Welcome to the Jam. Hi.
Hi. Tanya from Arkansas.
Hi, Tanya.
You should have turmeric mixed with black pepper.
All right.
It's 2,000%.
Totally agree.
Yes, it's 2,000% stronger when used together, and it is good for inflammation.
All right. Oh, gosh, and we need to get that out of our bodies. Thank you so much. Welcome to the Jam.
You're welcome.
All right. Welcome to the Jam. Please announce yourself, city and state you're from, and what staples should you always have in your kitchen cabinet? Someone who's in the car, please, or outside, please mute yourself.
Hey, GoGi, it's Olivia from Washington.
Hi, Olivia.
How are you?
I'm good, thank you.
Very good. I think that everyone should have at least 2 to 3 weeks of emergency supply of water.
Okay, that's a good idea. Thank you for that. And yeah, we hear about so many things that are supposed to come and happen to us. So absolutely, keep water. Thank you for that. Mm-hmm.
Hello, GoGi and everyone. This is Jacqueline from New Jersey, but in Asheville, North Carolina. Hi. Well, everything that everybody has said, in addition to honey, because it has a lot of healing, and also you can use it for healing purposes as well for our wounds. So honey.
Right. Absolutely. Great idea. Thank you for that, Jacqueline. Thank you. Absolutely. Welcome to the J.A.M, everybody. Please announce yourself, city, and state you're from.
Hello.
Amen. 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 Good evening, Twinnie.
Good evening. How are you?
I am blessed. Amen. Amen. And I know you are too.
Amen.
Amen. I will tell you, Sister Godfrey, what I have in my cupboard that I recommend everyone to take every day. My cupboard is packed with spiritual vitamins. Like I got vitamin A for anxiety. I have a vitamin G for depression, and vitamin L for laughter, and vitamin H for healing, and all those vitamins that we need, amen, which comes from the Word of God, amen. So I will tell you, once you take a dose of all those spiritual vitamins, Sister Godfrey, guess what? You ain't going to need anything else, I can guarantee you. Amen. Amen. God bless you, Twinnie.
Amen.
God bless you. Thank you for taking time. Thank you for taking time to be on the call. Sister Samia is a moderator Wednesday, Friday, and Sunday. Check out her times on tievents.org. All right. Welcome to the J.A.M, everybody. Please announce yourself, state you're from, and what supplements should we have in our cabinet? What should we have staples? Okay. I hear somebody vaguely.
Hello, can you hear me?
Hi, yes, I can hear you. How are you?
I'm fine. Hi, this is Cassandra from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania.
Hi, Cassandra.
Hi. Only thing I can think of is just have water, and I have honey and tea always. Tea is good. I like tea. Tea will help your throat and help you. So tea, honey, water, and tea.
All right. Okay, thank you for that. So tea we didn't have on our list. We have water and honey. Tea is an addition. Thank you so much, Sister Cassandra. Thank you for joining the J.A.M. Welcome to the J.A.M, everybody. I had heard another person that had said hello before. Go ahead.
Hi, GoGi's. It's Jennifer from Atlanta.
Hi, how are you? What'd you say your name is?
Jennifer from Georgia.
Hi, Jennifer from Georgia. How are you?
I'm good.
Okay.
I was just gonna say, to add to the water thing, I read in one of what's the lady doctor's name that's on the board for targeted justice?
Dr. Anna Maria Mihalcha. Mm-hmm.
Yes, I can't say her name very well, but I read that.
I finally found out how.
Mm-hmm. Well, I read in one of her papers that with our water, like with all the biotech that's in us now, the best thing to clear that out, and the only thing that they found that really clears out the biotech, is if you take your water and you boil it. Boiled tap water.
Really? Thank you for that. Boiled tap water. I'm going to try it. Thank you so much, because we buy all these fancy-dancy waters, and half the time they don't come from where they are supposed to come from, this spring and that spring. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and she said it's something about the heat, like putting it at the high heat that does something to it that's different. That is that kind of water, it is clearing the biotech out of the blood.
The one thing is beautiful. That's what we used to do with babies anyway. We used to just boil their water, so I love it.
Yeah.
Getting back to the old way of things. Yeah. All right. Thank you for that. I hadn't heard it. I'm going to do it. All right. Next caller, please.
Hi, it's Chrissy from Texas. How are you?
Hi, how are you, Chrissy? Thanks for reaching out too.
Yeah, how you doing today?
I'm as well as could be expected under the circumstances.
Good. All
That
right.
we did Pat answers at one time. That's mine. So go ahead.
Well, I have so many things that I love in my kitchen because I love, love, love to cook and do different things. But I'm going to have to go with, I like Goya adobo seasoning because it has a lot of natural seasonings along with a little bit of Latin. And then I guess the other thing I would have to choose, probably herbal teas because I think herbal teas are very calming. And
Okay.
I think you can get a turmeric tea also or a lemon ginger that's very good for digestion. So that's what I'll say.
All right. Thank you so much. And the adobo Goya, I'm going to have to try that. I didn't know it had a lot of natural things in it.
Yeah, Goya Seasonings has a lot of different ones. So just go through them. But the Goya adobo, you can pretty much use on anything. I mean, seriously.
All right. All
Okay.
right. Thank you. Thank you for that. All right. Welcome to the J.A.M, everybody. Please announce yourself, city and state you're from, and what staple should we all have in our cabinet?
Good evening. This is Dr. Black in Tennessee.
Hi, Dr. Black.
Hi there. Have you all, anyone said clove and cinnamon?
Nobody said it, and I love it.
Well, okay, well, both of those are naturally antimicrobial, antibacterial. Cinnamon helps to lower the blood sugar. And so when you're making sweet potatoes, yams, or anything like that, you can put them in there and have you some good stuff. Well, I make sweet potato pies just so I can put all that in it.
Okay. I love it. I love it. I love it. I have the essential oils for both of them, and they smell alike, and I love both of them. All right. All right. Thank you for that, Dr. Black. Welcome to the J.A.M, everybody. Please announce yourself, city and state you're from. And Dr. Black has a call as well on Saturday nights. Dr. Black, Refuge from the Storm is on Saturday nights. And can you please announce your call, please? I just can't remember.
Saturday nights at 6 p.m. is our regular church service. And this Saturday is we are celebrating our 8th year anniversary. We've been in the community for 8 years. Next Friday night is our Good Friday service. The 7 last words of Christ. We'll have 7 preachers preaching. You all come and enjoy us. That'll be at 8 p.m. Eastern Time, all on Zoom.
All right. Thank you so much, Dr. Black. Love these conference calls, and thank you to the moderators, especially for being here, and each and every person that decided to be here. Take it not for granted. All right. Anyone else? You'd like to announce yourself, city and state you're from, and what's the tip that you have for us to have in our cabinet?
Lauren from Winston-Salem, North Carolina. Hi.
Hi, Lauren. Hi.
So coconut oil and olive oil is good to massage in the lymphatic. Okay.
Lymphatic.
Lymphatic. Thank you very much. My tongue got tired right there. But it's good to massage into your lymph nodes to remove the toxins as well.
Thank you for that. I love it. And it's edible, so it's good for our hair, our body. I didn't know about the lymph nodes. Thank you so much. All right.
And you can also do pulling with the coconut oil. The pulling comes from taking the tartar off your teeth.
Yes.
Coconut oil pulling. And you can brush with the turmeric. Brush with the turmeric. All right. Thank you.
Yes, thank you for that. And brushing with turmeric. Turmeric leaves everything yellow except your teeth. They will whiten your teeth, I've heard. So I love that. Thank you so much for that, Lauren. All right. Anybody else? And then if not, we're going to close down and get started. We have lots of good stuff for you tonight. Okay. All right. Thank you, everybody. Let's get busy. All right, guys. So thank you so much for being here once again. So I selected some videos and articles that I thought were pertinent to what we're going through, and then we'll talk about what's going on with the lawsuit, what happened today in the Supreme Court that's significant to all of us, and the current lawsuit and what's going on with that. And then we're going to get into these supplements. So it's going to be a great night. It's jam-packed, so get comfy. All right. So the first, what's up first? First, I have an article. This article was very interesting because it deals with something that one of our initiatives. And let me see. Wait, I'm sorry. Hold on 1 second. Okay. I apologize. It deals with a very one of our initiatives that we've been talking about. So I don't know why I'm even looking at people. I don't know. Okay. Then it's let me find it really quickly. This initiative has to do with the cell towers, and so it lets us know that we're right on the right track. And it's the Child Health Defense who has a lawsuit against AT&T. All right? So let me just pull it up real quick. I'm so sorry. Why is it? Okay. Here is it. Here we go. All right. So the Child Health Defense started a lawsuit against AT&T. And let's look at why. This is in the Defender. 1 second. Here we go. Here's the beginning. CHD sues AT&T on behalf of a woman who alleges cell tower caused 51 strokes. Now, this was March 12, 2024. So the lawsuit filed on March 11th is Children's Health Defense's second case that strategically uses the Americans with Disabilities Act on behalf of those who get sick from wireless radiation, something we may need to tap into. This is interesting. Someone may want to take this bull by the horn. All right. A Minnesota woman alleging that the radio frequency radiation emitted by a cell tower near her home triggered 51 strokes on Monday, sued AT&T and other companies involved in the operation of the tower. Children's Health Defense, CHD, which is funding the lawsuit, they funded the lawsuit for her, filed a complaint on behalf of Marsha Haler, who previously told the defender she became disabled shortly after the cell tower was upgraded. I wonder if the upgrade is putting that fifth, on there? Fourth, that extra thing on there. I'm sorry, I'm at a loss for words. Okay, they upgraded. What I'm saying is if they weaponized the tower, but they upgraded it in 2019. In addition to suffering dozens of strokes since then, she suffered vision and hearing loss, headaches, sleep disruption, chronic fatigue, and cognitive impairment. She also experiences ongoing issues with balance, orientation, and mobility. See, now this is a smart way. You don't have to go around saying, I'm a TI. Oh, they're gang stalking me. Oh, they're doing this. If there's a tower near you and it has impacted your body and you have these same symptoms, then it's worth a call. All right, the lawsuit filed in the U.S. District Court for the District of Minnesota, Duluth, alleges the companies of operating the tower must provide Haller with, Haller, Haller, with a reasonable accommodation and or modify their policies, practices, or procedures to comply with federal disability law. Love it. In addition to AT&T, defendants in the suit include T-Mobile and American Tower. This is CHD's second lawsuit leveraging the ADA, the Americans with Disabilities Act, on behalf of individuals suffering from radio frequency radiation, RF exposure. Okay. CHD is excited to file the second complaint in this strategic line of cases. Miriam Eckenfels-Garcia, director of CHD's Electromagnetic Radiation and Wireless Program, EMR and Wireless Program, said, "We hope we will be able to help Marsha get relief while at the same time drive the conversation around electromagnetic sensitivity, RF radiation, and the lack of recourse for those harmed by cell towers forward," Eckenfels-Garcia said. The case draws attention to the need for better federal regulation of RF radiation and outlines the scientific evidence that debunks the RF radiation is safe narrative, according to Eckenfels-Garcia. According to the lawsuit, Holler's physician said that Holler's symptoms, including life-threatening embolic strokes, occur when she is exposed to high levels of RF radiation or pulsated radiation, RF radiation, such as 5G. When she exposed to high levels of RF radiation, or 5G, her physical impairments already substantially limit major life activities, and RF exposure triggers and or exacerbates her symptoms and condition, the complaint says. So they look at how it impacts your life. Number one, they look at your medical, that you have a medical backup, that your doctor agrees and supports this, and that you have a medical or health impairment because of it, and it impacts your general life, your major life activities. And RF exposure triggers and or exacerbates her symptoms and condition, the complaint said. The companies could easily and with minimal cost take action to end Holler's symptoms, but they have refused to do so, despite receiving a letter about her symptoms. The suit asked the court to declare that the ADA applies to the Holler's situation. This would mean that the companies would be liable for discriminating against Holler because they failed to accommodate her disability. It also seeks injunctive relief, meaning that if it wants the courts to order the companies to end the discrimination by either relocating their tower or reducing the amount of RF radiation it emits. Holler is requesting a jury trial and compensation for attorney fees and costs. Cell tower was likely upgraded to 5G. That's in bold. Marsha and her husband, Jay, believe the cell tower was upgraded in 2019 for deploying 5G. They, the companies, won't admit to what they did, Marsha told the defender. They say they don't have to tell us. They say they don't have to tell us. Oh, that's what the company says. They don't have to tell us. Marsha, at the time, was in her third semester of nursing school and worked as a certified nursing assistant at a hospital. On the weekend after the upgrade, Marsha was at home and began feeling dizzy and as if something just didn't feel right. Boy, she sounds like a TI. She called Jay, who runs a trucking business, telling him, something's wrong in my head. I don't know how to explain it. I just feel like crap. But she told Jay she didn't need him to come home. I'll be fine, she said. The physical situation was awful, Marsha said. In addition to dizziness, she had headaches and nausea. I couldn't pick my head up off the pillow without the room spinning and feeling very sick. We think you're having a stroke. The symptoms continued on Monday. She went to urgent care and was diagnosed with vertigo. How many of us have had vertigo? I'm raising my hand. She returned home. A few days later, she had blind spots in her vision and tingling in her arms, almost a numb feeling. Marsha called the on-call nurse center. They told her, you need to come down to the emergency room. We think you're having a stroke. An MRI of Marsha's brain showed numerous damaged areas called lesions. She was admitted to the hospital on October 10th, 2019, and diagnosed with strokes with an S, vision loss, and balance difficulties. After 3 days in the hospital, the strokes stopped happening, meaning our MRIs of the brain showed no new lesions, and Marsha returned home. But before the end of the month, Marsha started feeling the same way again and went back to the emergency room. Jay recalled, we were home, the kid, Marsha and Jay's son, and she was cooking dinner. She turned around and her face had actually drooped on this one. It was like, uh-oh. Marsha went back to the hospital where she was diagnosed with more brain lesions. A neurologist told Marsha the MRI scan of her brain looked like a starry night because of how many white spots or lesions appeared. The doctors still did not know what was causing them, she said. Let me see if this is quite lengthy. So I'm going to skip some of it. Oh, my goodness. Yeah, it's quite lengthy, but it's good stuff. Over the next 2 weeks, Marsha went back and forth a few times to the hospital. I'll skip around. A week or 10 days later, they'd be 7 or 10 new ones, just lesions, so they kept going back and forth. After this, and they started giving her treatments. They gave her treatments. Let me see what the treatments were. In November 2019, Marsha saw doctors at the Mayo Clinic who began treating her symptoms with plasmapheresis to put new plasma in her blood. Oh boy, new plasma in her blood, steroids, and a medication called Cellcept. Okay, but after a second round, she continued with the strokes. Let me see. One day Jay woke up with a strong sense that the cell tower radiation was causing Marsha's symptoms. So nobody knew, and he just woke up. It just came to him that it was happening. And so they moved with their son to Marsha's parents' house, and it got a lot better. The strokes stopped. Okay, that's how she was able to prove it was from living there and being close to that cell tower. So it goes on. Oh my goodness, they end up taking a pill for chemotherapy, and that's when she went back to the home. She moved back to their house, and it started again. All right, and so it continues, but you can see the evidence of it and how it's just clear that it's from the cell tower and why CHD would take this case. So someone called it a coincidence. He said he wouldn't call it a coincidence. She had a major blood clot in her left arm. My God, this just sounds like the direct energy weapons. But, okay. So if you would like to read more about it, they made a Faraday cage she and Jay call the Faraday cage the penalty box. It's a tiny room with no power, no windows, and just a complete black box with 2 beds. And they would sleep there with their 18-year-old son, spending the night away from home as often as possible. And I would be nervous to sleep in my house because I don't want to get sick again. And so that's what they did. But, okay, that's how it ends. And this is in the Defender. Again, I gave you the date, and we'll post the link. All right. So that's the first one. Sorry, so lengthy, but, I mean, a lot of us who are going through these symptoms or similar, we can see what needs to be done if you would like someone to take your case and pay for it. All right. Okay. The second one, Major P, I'm going to ask you, are you ready? Can you read about, this is direct energy weapons in the United States. So we have another article, and then we have a video. So Major Pat, are you ready?
Hi, GoGi. This is not Major Pat. This is Tranquility. I don't see her.
Ah. If you're there,
you want to maybe text me the last 4 digits of her number?
Okay.
In case she dialed in?
All right. Okay. Okay. She usually comes in by phone. 1 second. I will do that. And then let me see. Maybe we'll jump to the next one in the meantime, and we'll come back to that one.
And Major Pat, if you're here, can you star 6? I'll see you in the Q&A if you're here. Okay. So you're going on to the next thing?
I'm giving you the number, and then I'll go on to the next thing. Yeah. So I just did that. All right. So, yes, we're going to jump to number 3. There's a video that with Maria Z, who's a very, very one of the top influencers, and she interviewed our panel of people. I call them our panel of people, but Dr. Anna Maria, Attorney Anna Toledo, and Richard Lighthouse. And we're not going to listen to all of it. We're going to listen to the beginning of it. And if you'd like to hear more or see the whole thing, it's on Targeted Justice. It's also in the Rumble, Real Targeted Justice Rumble account. So check both of them out and like, share, and spread the video. So we're going to just listen to the beginning with Maria Z.
Z Media is proud to partner with All around the world, people have reported being targeted by invisible weapons run by covert government operations for years. Some of what they report includes hearing voices or music, a phenomenon known as voice-to-skull, being burned both via external burns on the skin and internal burning sensations, experiencing thoughts that are not their own, violent dreams, gang stalking, surveillance, and much more. Of late, some individuals are reporting feeling as though they've been connected to AI or the internet in a way that hasn't necessarily been explained before. These people are known as targeted individuals. They're often dismissed by mainstream medicine or psychiatry as simply experiencing some form of psychosis or schizophrenia. But more and more people are surfacing with these experiences seemingly out of nowhere. And it is our belief that their stories warrant further investigation rather than just being dismissed, especially because of how many there are. Dr. Hunter has been at the forefront of researching nanotechnology and synthetic biology advances and how this may relate to the Targeted Individual Program. Richard Lighthouse and Anna Toledo from Targeted Justice have been fighting in court for the rights of people to not be experimented on, with documented evidence of this covert government operation. Dr. Anna Mahiacha, Richard and Anna from Targeted Justice, thank you so much for joining us today. We appreciate your time.
Thank you so much for having us, Maria.
Of course, of course. Well, most of the audience knows Dr. Anna Mahiacha, but in the event that they don't, Dr. Anna, if this is the first time people are tuning in, because this is now a subject that a lot of people are starting to want to learn more about, can you give them a brief overview of your experience and particularly focusing on the nanotechnology, if you will?
Absolutely. So I'm an internal medicine physician from the United States. I have an anti-aging clinic, and I started looking at the COVID shots with Dr. David Nixon, and we found self-assembling nanotechnology. And then I continued to look at the human blood and saw these self-assembling technology there and got involved in different organizations, including Targeted Justice, because my research certainly showed that this is the technology that is being used for total human enslavement and the transhumanist agenda.
Thank you, Dr. Anna. And Richard and Anna are here from Targeted Justice. I want to say this is, like I said, a subject that a lot of people are growing more interested in because of the phenomena that is actually increasing of individuals experiencing things like voice to skull, individuals experiencing very strange phenomena where they feel like they've been merged with technology. And, you know, often this is dismissed, and the medical profession, the traditional medical profession, would boil it down to something like psychosis, for example. But Richard, you've been working with targeted individuals for some time. And we have Anna here who's going to share her personal experience. So, Richard, please give everyone a brief overview of your experience and also what you've encountered working with individuals who've been targeted in this manner.
Sure, thanks, Marie. So Targeted Justice was founded back in 2017. I found that I was one of many tens of thousands of people here in the United States that had been targeted and placed into this program. The database is held by the FBI at the Terror Screening Center. It's hidden underneath or behind the watch list where the Terror Screening database, 97% of it is actually non-investigative subjects. And so we're finding that the government is deliberately placing these people into this human experimentation program, and that's certainly part of the targeting program. So there's a lot of technology that's been built up over the years for this program. The directed energy weapons are operated out of Schriever Space Force Base in Colorado, and the CIA certainly provides most, if not all, the funding.
Anna, you've also had experience as a targeted individual. Will you share a little bit with people?
Sure, thank you. Yes, I am from Puerto Rico, and during the course of many years, I had several surgeries. Some were not, some were mandatory, supposedly, and others were elective. And during the course of those surgeries, I was implanted with a huge, very big head-to-toe W-band, and it's a wireless area body network. The sad part of it is that for example, my hip would, fall out of place, and I got x-rays, and even though now I can distinguish where the implants were, the radiologist would never report that I had all these artifacts inside of me, my intestines, my hips, everywhere. And the same happened with my head, my chest, everywhere. I can tell you that I want people to know that there is a way to beat the transhumanist agenda. I was implanted illegally, secretly, to destroy and obliterate me because I am a whistleblower and environmental attorney that was denouncing environmental crimes happening in Puerto Rico. So I was telling too many inconvenient truths. And with the grace of God, I am here, and I was able to, defeat them because I filed a lawsuit on behalf of Targeted Justice to end the targeted individual program, and we're currently in the Fifth Circuit waiting for oral arguments.
Well, that's amazing news and very, offers a lot of hope, Anna. I'm interested to know, you said implanted against your will. So how did you come to know that this was the case? And how did you said implanted with the wireless body area network. What do you mean by that?
Okay. We're going to start right there.
Well, if you can see
Thank you. So if you would like to hear the rest of that video, please look on Real Targeted Justice on Rumble or targetedjustice.com, and you'll be able to find that video. It's Maria Z. Okay, really, really exciting video. All right, and I think Dr. Pat is available. We're gonna go to her. They're talking about direct energy weapons. Major Pat, are you there now?
I'm here. Can you hear me?
We can. Oh, thank you.
Okay, give me 1 second. Let me open it up.
Okay. While she's doing that, other than this, we have, I think, 2 more things that are very interesting, and then we want to talk about some of the lawsuits that's happening, and especially that exciting one for today that, I'm just celebrating. And then we're going to go into the supplements, which thank you to hear from New York for requesting, because we all need to take our supplements. All right.
I'm ready.
Okay. Go ahead, please.
Okay. strong focus on development and procurement directed energy weapons market growth in U.S. U.S. contributed the largest share to the directed energy weapons market in 2020 due to the increased demand for high-energy laser systems and high-power microwave systems in the country on its military bases and overseas deployment. The U.S. is one of the major markets for directed energy weapons across the globe due to the increase in demand for high-energy laser systems by the U.S. government. The terrorist attack on the World Trade Center in 2001 highlighted the vulnerability of the current defense system in the U.S. The event brought the security of airports and marine ports to the fore. A rise in demand for chemical lasers and solid-state lasers is expected to boost the demand for high-energy laser systems during the forecast period. U.S. uses direct energy weapon systems in its homeland security, which has increased the demand for non-lethal direct energy weapons, such as dazzlers, ADS, silent guardians, car-stopping microwave systems, conducted energy weapons, high-power electromagnetic pulse, and directional acoustic weapons. For instance, the U.S. Navy awarded Lockheed Martin Corporation a $150 million contract with options worth up to $942.8 million for the development, manufacture, and delivery of 2 high-power laser weapon systems, including intelligence, surveillance, and reconnaissance, and counter unmanned aerial system capabilities by 2020. In March 2021, the U.S. Air Force deployed high-energy laser weapon systems by Raytheon Technologies Corporation. It is a system designed to counter drone threats to an unidentified combatant command base abroad for operator training and initial performance evaluation. According to the Congressional Research Service, procurement of 12 new ships in FY 2020 budget, including 1 Gerald R. Ford class aircraft carrier, 3 Virginia-class attack submarines, 3 DDG-51 class destroyers, 1 FG, 2 John Lewis class oilers, and 2 task towing, salvage, and rescue ships. According to the U.S. Navy report to Congress on the annual long-range plan for construction of naval vessels for FY 2020, the U.S. Navy has plans to modernize and upgrade a fleet of 355 vessels.
Thank you so much. Wow. Thank you, Major Pat. Very interesting. So they're putting money in, and Lockheed Martin is one of the ones that they millions and billions of dollars to for these weapons, and they name the weapons that they consider. Did they say non-fatal? I'm not sure which word they use, but we know what the weapons can do, as we are victims of this weaponry. So it's something for us to watch, and if anybody, if we can talk about doing something about it, if we want to write about it or do something about it, but I think the move is with the cell towers, which is what the CHD has taken upon themselves to do, and I hope that it needs to be more widespread. All right, so we're going to take a commercial break. I'm going to come back with an article on the chemtrails, and then we want to hear about from this Texas University student. All right.
Welcome to TIEvents.org, your official insider for the targeted individual community. As the go-to source for all TI events, we're here to keep you in the loop with the latest and greatest happenings. Discover daily conference calls, meetups, and exclusive events across the USA, all at your fingertips. Plus, planning a TI event? Advertise with us for free and connect directly with the TI community. TIEvents.org is not just a website. It's your gateway to a world of information, connection, and empowerment for TIs everywhere. TIEvents.org, your official insider. Dive in and discover today.
All right. So for all the conference calls, anything with targeted individuals, TIs, check TIEvents.org. All right. This article is CNN, March 12th, 2024. And the name of it is The Truth Behind Those White Streaks Trailing Behind Jets in the Sky. So have you seen them? Most TIs have reported seeing chemtrails over their home or wherever they live and go. So the article, it has the picture of the chemtrails and the caption underneath, aircraft contrails in the sky are at dawn in London. Many people believe these contrails are actually dangerous or being used for conspicuous purposes. All right. We've all seen those white streaks trailing behind jets, creating stripes against the blue sky. The lines are called contrails, short for condensation trails, and they appear when water vapor condenses and freezes around the exhaust from an aircraft. According to the University Corporation for Atmospheric Research, at least that's what science says. In recent years, a growing number of people believe that these contrails are actually chemtrails, a well-established conspiracy theory asserting that these chemtrails aren't made from condensation at all, but are instead chemicals being sprayed by the government. Though the theory may sound far-fetched to some, chemtrails have become a common conspiracy both in the United States and around the world, despite evidence to the contrary. The chemtrails idea has been around since 1996 and is largely rooted in an Air Force research paper from the same year, Weather as a Force Multiplier, Owning the Weather in 2025. It outlines a future weather modification system to achieve military objectives using aerospace forces and does not reflect current military policy, practice, or capability. The Environmental Protection Agency has stated, at its most basic, the chemtrails conspiracy theory posits that contrails are not created by water vapor or oil, but instead are assigned that the government, the wealthy, or some mix of the two, is secreting toxic chemicals into the air, creating these white lines. Ideas about the purpose of these supposed toxic chemicals vary. Some believe the chemicals are being used to poison humanity. Others say it's for mind control, and some think it's a way for the government to control the weather. There's no single official version of the theory, said Sajia Zhao, a PhD candidate at the University of California, Berkeley, who conducted a 2021 study exploring the chemtrails conspiracy theory and interviewing 20 believers and former believers. Instead, individuals pick and choose aspects that resonate with them, mixing in personal interpretations or selectively adopting parts of the theory. How did the chemtrails conspiracy theory take off? Let me see if I want to read all that. I'm not going to, no, I'll breeze through that a little bit, and then I'm going to jump to the end. The idea that the government is spraying humanity with chemicals isn't completely without base. During the Cold War, the British government conducted more than 750 mock chemical warfare attacks on the general public, according to the researchers. This subjected hundreds of thousands of people to zinc cadmium sulfide, a chemical chosen due to its small size. It's similar to that of germs, and because it glows under ultraviolet light, making it easy to trace. The chemical was thought to be non-toxic at the time, though repeated exposure could be cancerous. The U.S. did the same in 1950s and 1960s, using the chemical as a tracer to test the dispersion of biological weapons. Okay, so you can continue to read about that. This is from CNN on March 12th. I want to jump to the part where it says, "Are chemtrails real?" And then we're going to go to the video. All right, so are chemtrails real? Here's what experts have said. Scientists have said there is no evidence for the existence of chemtrails, even if there was a government conspiracy at work in aircraft contrails. Such a large-scale program would be difficult to cover up, given the amount of people who would be necessary for operations, Harvard researchers noted. Around the world, scientists have conducted investigations debunking the chemtrails conspiracy theory, describing the existence of contrails and their variances at length. Even Edward Snowden, the whistleblower who leaked classified information from the National Security Agency, NSA, has stated that chemtrails are not a thing. Still, believers are not convinced. Belief in the theory has become so strong that meteorologists around the world have reported an uptick in harassment and threats, usually after extreme weather, particularly from conspiracy theorists accusing them of hiding information. The collective agreement within these communities often overpowers the rational dissent of scientists, Zhao said. This makes it exceedingly difficult for factual corrections to alter these deeply entrenched beliefs. Okay, so he's saying basically that they're not, these chemtrails are really contrails, and I would like that thought discussed with the Clean Skies people of Houston, who are trying to ban or of Texas, trying to ban chemtrails. So there must be a reason, and I bet they have some research that backs up their claims. All right. So the next article, the next video is a very interesting Texas University student. She reminds me of myself with my rose-colored glasses on. And she's not totally familiar with the program, but she's experiencing it, and she's boldly speaking out. So let's take a listen.
Speaks about the illegal clandestine operations happening behind the terrorist watch list today. So I came here regarding police harassment 6 months ago, events that unfortunately continue to occur to this day. And what I didn't know at the time was the reason why I was being arbitrarily investigated, along with the aggressive measures that they were taking to do so. This led me to finding the deep corruption happening behind the terrorist watch list. So there's three components to the terrorist watch list. There's the no-fly list, the selectee list, and the KST file, which not many people are aware of. And within the KST file, there's three subcategories, one of them being a silent hit list for non-investigative subjects, a list that's been known to catch many unsuspecting innocent American civilians, that including whistleblowers, journalists, and now down to students at universities, which I don't understand how a whistleblower, a journalist, a news reporter would purport a nexus to terrorism, as that's the requirement for inclusion into this subset. What's going on with this list is not only illegal, but it's being used for purposes that go directly against the HSPD 6 executive order that was issued by the President in 2003. That stated that this executive order shall be implemented in a manner that is consistent with the provisions of the Constitution and applicable laws. That's what was stated in the executive order issued by the President in 2003. The executive order only gave them a screening tool for known and suspected terrorists, not the authorization to deviate from that and create a silent hit list of non-subjects. Infiltration and sting operations that they have enlisted into the subject. It's a different method called game stalking, and I know there's a lot of misconceptions around that, but it's very similar to the operations that were utilized within the Stasi secret police. And I do have documents. So I passed out documents from the former head of FBI that whistleblowed about the realities of that illegal clandestine operation that's being implemented against the individuals that they have enlisted in subject. And one might argue, though, by the use of these procedures, that instead of preventing terrorism, they're actually eliciting it, subjecting these individuals to all forms of abusive surveillance, harassment campaigns, that along with unlawful imprisonment, often inducing these individuals who they have enlisted to actually committing crime instead of preventing them. And that is the reality now for the 400,000 people that the FBI has on the watch list today, as most of them are listed as non-investigative subjects. These are oftentimes innocent American civilians who oftentimes have no relation to terrorism at all, or even a criminal past. As that was revealed in the most recent DOJ audit report, that found that 99.71% of the individuals that they have on the watch list today have no relation to terrorism at all, with only 0.29% of its records actually belonging to known and suspected terrorists. And that's for the 400,000 people that they have on the watch list today.
Okay. Thank you, ma'am.
Okay, and she was very articulate, very had statistics and lots of information, and they just said thank you. One thing that she said was, you know, we totally agree with. I agree with a lot of what she said. Of course, clearly discussed the program is why isn't it on mainstream media? Why isn't it on mainstream media? Mm-hmm. So that is one of the things that we're going to continue to watch and reach out to. I would love to meet this young lady. She's obviously a targeted individual, and she's speaking out from Texas University and, of course, getting the same runaround that we get. But it's going viral. I can't remember what social media platform it is in. It's on, but it's going viral. So more and more people are discussing it, liking it, sharing it, and that's the key. And she's, you know, and to be able to present yourself well like she did with statistics. And, you know, she didn't make it about herself. She made it about this is a problem. And that's what we need to do to get people to listen to us. So I love this. It's a time to talk our testimony, and it's a time to just talk the statistics and the problem so that people will listen. And that's what she's doing, and it's getting lots of hits. So if you find it, it'll be great. I'll look for her name. We'll post her name in the university up on tievents.org. Okay, so there's one other thing before we talk about. I wanted to mention. No, we're gonna talk about the case first because after I mention that, I'm gonna get into our J.A.M. homework. All right. So yes, we had that victory versus the FBI. Finally, they made a decision today, unanimously 9-1. The Supreme Court voted in favor of Fikri, and it's just a wonderful, wonderful thing. So what does that mean for us, and what does and let's look at our case as well. Let me just take a look. Let me see. There's people. I received quite a few articles about this. I wanted to read one of them to you. So just some of the information. Let me see. 1 second. 1 minute. Okay, here we go. All right. So, and this gives us a little background, so I want to read this one. CARE calls 9-1 U.S. Supreme Court victory in watchlist case, a historic milestone for American Muslims. Ibrahim Hooper, March 19th, 2024, 12:40 p.m. All right, so the Council of American Islamic Relations, CARE, the nation's largest Muslim civil rights and advocacy organization, today welcomed the U.S. Supreme Court's ruling, 9-1 ruling allowing CARE's lawsuit, the federal no-fly list on behalf of Jonas Fikri, to move forward over the government's objection as a historic milestone for Muslims. The case marked the first time that CARE argued directly before the United States Supreme Court. Jonas Fikri is an American Muslim who was tortured and imprisoned in the United Arab Emirates at the behest of American officials and then stranded in Sweden because of his status on the no-fly list after he refused pressure from the FBI to become an informant. So the FBI requested him to become an informant. He said no, and they began to torture him, and they imprisoned him, and he was stranded in Sweden because he couldn't fly. All right, he tried to fly, found out he's on the no-fly list. So they put him on the no-fly list, meaning they put him on the watch list and handling codes 1 or 2. The government took Fikri off the list after CARE filed suit and tried to argue that Fikri's case was moot in order to avoid the threat of a court ruling declaring the watch list unconstitutional. So how do you get rid of the problem? You just dismiss it, right? So you're saying that I'm on the list. No. Fikri and CARE, they're saying that they're on the list and they're opposed to the lawsuit. So, okay, we'll take you off the list. And they did it right before the court case instead of, they had asked for it many times before, but they wouldn't do it. But they did it when the court was presenting itself, when the case was presenting itself in court. And they said, well, it's moot, meaning you have no claim since you're not on the list. Why are we here? We have no reason to be here. So the FBI has previously removed over 10 CARE clients from the no-fly list in response to lawsuits filed by the civil rights group. Today, the Supreme Court rejected the government's argument that lawsuits like Fikri's case are moot. In a unanimous opinion by Justice Gorsuch, the court explained that the government's declaration provided no assurances he would not be placed back on the list if he repeated whatever behavior the government thought was grounds to put him on the list in the first place. So this means that the government, they tried to dismiss it as moot. Number one, they tried to dismiss it. Number two, they didn't tell him exactly what he did, and they couldn't guarantee that he wouldn't go back on the list. So let's look at that. The declaration was silent as to whether the government might relist him if he does the same or similar things in the future, say attend a particular mosque or refuse renewed overtures to serve as an informant. So they believe it was because he donated or just attended a mosque in particular that they put him on the list, and basically because he refused to be an informant. So if he refused again or if he attended a mosque, just because you took me off means that you could put me back on. And they refused to tell Fikri or anybody why he was on the list in the first place. Okay? So the government did not prove that it cannot reasonably be expected to resume its challenge conduct, whether the suit happens to be new or long lingering, and whether the challenge conduct might recur immediately or later at some more propitious moment. CARE National Executive Director Nahad Awad, Awad, lauded the decision. CARE has achieved a major victory at the Supreme Court and a historic milestone for American Muslims, including tens of thousands unjustly targeted by our government. We vow to continue our fight until the FBI's secret watch list with an S, good, no longer target our community and undermine the Constitution. We congratulate our amazing legal team for this achievement, and we thank our supporters for entrusting CARE to protect their rights. CARE National Litigation Director Lena Masri added, the court's unanimous decision is a stinging rebuke of the FBI's long-standing practice of avoiding accountability by removing innocent Muslims who challenged their listing in federal court. CARE National Deputy Litigation Director Gader Abbas, who argued the case for Jonas Fikri before the Supreme Court on January 8th. Okay, so that's January 8th. This is now March, so about 2 months it took. Hailed the decision the FBI cannot play whack-a-mole with the rights of Muslims. The FBI cannot place innocent Muslims on the no-fly list only to then block them, that unconstitutional list, from scrutiny by removing those Muslims whenever they file a lawsuit. So that has been the game they've played. They file a lawsuit, they take them off, but they don't, share the list. And this time they're challenging the list, which is why it's a victory for all of us to some degree. Let's talk in a minute. CARE Senior Litigation Attorney Justin Sadowski noted that he looked forward to continuing the case. If the government is going to defend what it did to Jonas, then we will make sure a court rules that what it did was illegal. The government must change its ways if it wants to avoid judicial scrutiny of the no-fly list. Okay, so that's the FBI versus Fikri. It came FBI versus Fikri when the FBI appealed, but it originated Fikri versus the FBI, and so they won, and they're celebrating, and we're celebrating with them. I sure am. So this win is so significant because one of the pictures that it says is ban the unconstitutional watch list. It was something like that, but it's against the whole watch list, and that's what we're a part of. So as they discuss handling codes 1 and 2, then we have to keep making it clear that 3, 4, and I'm hearing 5 exist as well as secret parts of that watch list, and they're just as unconstitutional as 1 and 2. So when you talk about the list, when we want them to talk about the list, we want them to talk about the whole list, and it's not just the Muslims. We're glad they're getting their day in court, because since 9/11 they've been, in particular since 9/11, maybe longer, they've been really discriminated against because of that. So we're going to really follow this. We're excited about this as moving forward, but the main thing is the win was unanimous, and so there's no more playing games with the government. So I hope the government is really waking up and seeing that, things are coming out. They have, I don't know if anyone heard about the cases that these people that have challenged them before and been just taken off the list at least 10 times, they said. So it's been happening, and no one's been saying anything. But this one made primetime media, so good for them. Really good. This is a good step. And we have another one that we're watching, and that is Kovac versus Ray. And that's the technicality that you cannot have or create and maintain a watch list by just the president signing it into existence. It has to be an act of Congress. And so they challenged it, and we watched that the other day, and we're expecting a response. If this took 2 months, maybe that'll take 2 months, or maybe it'll take less time. But we were waiting for this case, this to be shared, and so I'm really grateful. So in terms of us specifically, there we are on the watch list. So that's when they talk about watch list, they're really talking about us. But they make the distinction, the Muslims make the distinction about being Muslims, and they also make the distinction about handling code 1 and 2. So, I pray that there's a broader picture painted so that they include the entire watch list and the entire all of humanity. Nobody wants to be on that watch list illegally and innocently. So we're just grateful that it's in mainstream news and it's being dealt with, and people are listening, and you can tell people that, yeah, I'm on that watch list as well, and they talk about what happens. They're only talking about that they can't fly, so they're really not talking about what happens, but hopefully that comes out during discovery and during as the case moves forward. So we're going to pay attention. In terms of our case, we mentioned before there's some things that our attorney is working feverishly about, and she's planning to file something very, very soon in response, and with some objections and things that she's found out. So be looking for some good, strong David moves, okay? The things that we expect from Attorney Anna Toledo, and do know that everything is not as it seems. So there are some things that are being uncovered, and she will certainly share it with us, and we're looking forward to that. And that means that we may still be having our rally. So, continue to sign up, continue to register, and we'll see where that takes us, okay? And as I mentioned before, please stay flexible, stay united, stay strong, TI strong, and stay positive, all right? So good things are happening. And so let's not give up the faith, and let's stay together, and let's keep moving forward, not backwards. All right. I'll take questions if we have questions later about the lawsuit, but we're going to get into supplements right now. And I have the first one. I'm going to ask Tanya to share first. And I asked someone, I'm not sure who I asked, you can just say you asked me, to go on, I think it's you, Major Pat, to check out Dr. Anna Maria's supplements. She did the supplements during the medical symposium. Okay, I don't know. I'm getting feedback. I don't know why. But she gave out supplements during the medical symposium, and she did it quite quickly. So we wanted to slow that down and hear that. Was you Major Pat? Okay, I don't hear her.
Yeah, the echo was Tanya. She might be on speaker. I'm not sure.
Okay. Tanya. Okay, Tanya's going to go next. So, Tanya, the echo, you were causing an echo. So you were muted, so please unmute *6, and you can do your supplements. Okay? Thank you. Oh, okay. Tanya's she's going to read. She's reading. I'm sorry. Is Tammy on the line?
Information.
No, I don't see Tammy. I'm sorry.
Oh no, this is Major P.
Oh, Major P, you're ready with Dr. Anna's list of supplements?
I am.
Okay, great. All right, let's go. Thank you.
You're welcome. The first thing that she mentioned was that activated charcoal can be used for traumatic brain injury. EDT, chelation therapy for the treatment of neurotoxicity. I've noticed that a lot of these IV centers are popping up in communities, and this is where you would go to get this procedure done.
That IV centers have the chelation. Really? Okay.
Yes, and they're falling on the wellness centers. And I also read that because they have those treatments for hangovers, tiredness, just a whole bunch of stuff. But what I read was that the one to remove metal is the most effective one, and that's the one that we would be using. Okay, and that this treatment was previously used for cardiovascular disease, and as I mentioned earlier, it pulls out metals. There's the methylene blue. It reduces acute cerebral ischemic injuries. It's a salt used as a dye to reduce the ferric iron in hemoglobin, and it can be purchased over the counter. And I did kind of peek at it, and it starts at about $24.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. Helpful brain peptides that are currently banned by the FDA but can be found on some websites. And that was dihexa. It's 10 million times more potent than brain-derived nerve growth factors. The second one is Selenk, and it decreases the neuroinflammation. It promotes neurogenesis, blocks anxiety and depression. The third one is delta sleep-inducing peptide. It reverses the chemo brain, similar to TBI, which is traumatic brain injury. The epilathian is it reverses radiation damage, nuclear submarines, and accelerated aging. GHK, copper peptide, increases neuron genes, and the transcription is 500 to 800%. And the last one is the BPC 157, used for removal of traumatic brain injury. And as I mentioned, most of these peptides can be found on websites.
Okay, thank you so much. Thank you.
You're welcome.
All right. So I wanted to at least start with the ones that Dr. Anna Maria mentioned, because she breezed over them so quickly, I couldn't get them down. So thank you for taking the time to slow it down and bring it out, Major P. Also, you said EDTA. Did you see anything about EDTA? I mean, I saw it in powder form.
Let me see. I did, and give me 1 second. I do have it in my notes. Oh, it's up in it. That was the chelation therapy. The EDTA.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome.
All right. So I also had Tammy. I don't see Tammy, but she was going to share some of the things that she mentioned. I know that she tells us about using Vaseline on the skin. So I'll just share one or two things that she said, and then we're going to read another plaintiff. All right? And then we'll take any questions you have about any of this. So, but Tammy mentions putting Vaseline on the skin because it brings the nanites, and the nanites, or the nanotechnology, and the nanites brings it to the surface of the skin, and then it suffocates them. So it helps to kill them. It also shields. So one of the things she mentions was Vaseline. And I can't remember. She makes this bucket with vinegar, pink salt, and trying to see the other ingredient. Oh, olive oil. And she puts a plug to it, so it creates a current, and you soak your feet in it, and it helps to draw out inflammation and toxins and swelling and so forth. So, she makes it and sells it, but it's I mean, you could also, if you know how to work with electricity, you can make it yourself. But yeah. So, okay, I'm going to move on from that, and we're going to go right into the next plaintiff. The next plaintiff that we have is Armando D. I dare not try to mention his last name. All right, I have Tammy's page up. So one other thing before we go into the plaintiff, of course, is essential oils. And she mentions that the thyme and alcohol, and if you don't want to use alcohol, if you can regular alcohol and the essential oil thyme, it breaks up the biofilm that they have in our throats. And if you don't use alcohol, I mean, you could use, real alcohol like vodka if you can drink it. Some people can't. That they've changed our living blood, and that's what Dr. Anna Maria says as well. And that we can change it back through the chelation thing. But she also recommended a coffee enema, taking a coffee enema to get everything, the toxins and so forth out of our body. Vitamin C, 500 milligrams, zinc, 500 milligrams. And I'm going to recommend, instead of going to the regular, CVS, Walgreens, and getting the other things, to try to go to a holistic place and get these things. They're usually somewhat stronger. Calcium, quercetin, and Glutathione, Glutathione, 600 milligrams. And magnesium, of course, trypsin, which is hydrogel, sodium bicarbonate, or just plain salt water, it's called. Black seed oil, just 1 drop in your water every day. Boron pills, 30 milligrams. Liquid copper or liquid zinc. Never seen it. I would love to see that. Liquid copper or liquid zinc. Ivermectin, which is like an antibiotic. Hydroxychloroquine. And we all know, you mentioned the blue, methylene blue. 4 layers of copper mesh on your temple is a good tip. And also that, of course, always saunas. Okay. I think that was it. I was expecting her to come. I don't know what happened, but here we are. Okay. So we're going to get right now, that concludes our supplement section. If you have any questions or want us to repeat anything, please let me know. We're going to go into the next plaintiff, and this is the way I see things, and this is only God's way. I'm speaking for myself. This is a disclaimer. I'm not speaking for Targeted Justice, but I believe that one of these lawsuits is going to free us, and our lawsuit will prevail, and it's going to really, it's the only one that talks about damages, the compensation that we are to get. So it's going to push that forward so that we all get what we deserve. And I'm looking forward to that day in court, because that's going to be a huge, monumental day. I believe that between these two, Fikri and Kovac, who, by the way, have been at it for years. They didn't just start yesterday. Their cases started years ago, and if as they prevail, that would obliterate the list, which would take us off the list. Our attorney will be able to give us the information we need about the list. Our attorney will be able to give us information about our personal ourselves if we registered to be a part of that, if we registered. So then we will get the discovery we need, and it also gives us the template, the models that we need to have our own cases. So it is crucial to all targeted individuals across the globe. Okay, so now, all right, so, okay, we have a ghost on here. We don't know why that Q&A ended and began, but that's okay. It's all right. We know the criminals are busy. That means we're talking about something good. We're talking about lawsuits prevailing, and they are. All right. And then so we're going to look now to hear about the plaintiff, the next plaintiff, Armando. And if you find yourself very similar to his, then use his information as a model. Okay, go ahead. Tanya, we need to hear from you. Okay, next commercial break, and then we need Tanya to read the plaintiff.
Are you feeling like something strange is happening in your life? You tell others, but nobody believes you? Well, get ready to uncover the truth with GoGi Justice's groundbreaking book, GoGi's 10 Signs Which Indicate You're a Targeted Individual. GoGi Justice, an everyday person just like you, has written a book that exposes the covert illegal activities happening right under our noses. With a writing style that's raw, honest, and relatable, GoGi takes you on a journey through the dark world of targeted individuals. You'll ask yourself if you are experiencing these signs. Learn about infiltration, gang stalking, privacy violations, and even hacked home appliances. GoGi's book is a beacon of hope, providing encouragement, tips, and resources for those who find themselves trapped in this nightmare. It's time to fight back and regain control of your life. So if you're tired of feeling isolated, unheard, and targeted, grab a copy of GoGi's 10 Signs Which Indicate You're a Targeted Individual. Available now on Amazon.com and the Targeted Justice Etsy shop. Don't let them silence you any longer. Take the first step towards understanding, empowerment, and freedom. Get your copy today and join the movement. GoGi Justice's book, A Voice for the Targeted Individuals.
All right. Don't forget to get your book to introduce this, what we're going through to other people, to confirm things for yourself, and just to read it. All right. So here we are. We're going to read about Armando D. And Tanya, take it away. Tanya, you may need to stop 6, but I think you're unmuted. Tranquility, please advise.
Hi, Tanya. Can you hear us? We see that you're unmuted. Okay, there you go. Tanya? She just muted herself. She just unmuted herself. We can't hear you.
That doesn't surprise me, guys.
Hi, Armando.
Hi, Armando. Yeah, right while we're doing your thing, right?
Exactly.
I'm sorry. Okay. What's going on, Tanya? Tanya?
I see noise coming from her mic, but we don't hear you, Tanya.
Tanya, did you star 6? Can you star 6?
She's not muted. Now? Yes,
hello?
Faintly. Yeah, we hear you. Hi.
Hi. My God. I don't know. Okay.
I tell you.
Let me pull it back up. Okay.
Armando, thank you for being here tonight. Thank you.
Thank you, guys. Can you hear me okay?
Yes, we can hear you very well. It's Tanya that was having a problem.
Okay.
But I'm
Most
here
likely
now.
It wasn't. I'm pretty sure it wasn't her fault.
Okay. No, I'm sure it wasn't. The criminals are busy. We're still enjoying the Silent Night, guys. Don't forget, if you're interested, the Silent Night is the item that Armando created to make things silent. I'll just put it that way, for his wife and 3-year-old, and it has helped and is helping many. So go to TargetSourceLLC.com. TargetSourceLLC.com if you're interested. All right, go ahead, Tanya.
Okay, Armando, while you're here, how do you pronounce your last name?
Delatorre.
Delatorre, okay. All right. This is plaintiff Armando Delatorre.
Berta Jasmine Delatory, and daughter J.D. The foregoing allegations are re-alleged and incorporated herein as a result of defendants' Ray's, Cable's, and their predecessors' actions under color of law of including and or maintaining plaintiffs Armando's Jasmine Delatory's and their minor daughter J.D.'s in the TSDB NIS McCarthy blacklist since at least 2019. They have sustained substantial damages resulting from the unconstitutional deprivations of their rights protected under the 1st, 4th, 5th, 6th, 8th, and 14th Amendments of the United States Constitution and the Conventions Against Torture. As a result of Ray's, Cable's, and their predecessors' inclusion and or maintain of plaintiffs Armando's and Berta Jasmine Delatory's names in the TSDB McCarthy blacklist, they have suffered illegal break-ins in their homes, physical and electronic surveillance, and organized stalking since 2018. Rogue stalkers follow Mr. Delatory in packs at any given time, 7 days a week. The damages plaintiffs Armando Delatory and Berta Jasmine have sustained because of defendants' joint liability stemming from the unconstitutional and illegal organized stalking part of their targeting is estimated in the amount no less than $5 million each, for a total of $10 million. As a result of being targeted since 2018, plaintiff Berta Jasmine suffers from intolerable V2K that almost cost her life. As a result of the V2K, she has sustained damages amounting to $50 million. The physical pain and suffering that plaintiffs Armando and Berta Jasmine Delatory have sustained because of defendants' joint liability stemming from the DO attacks they have suffered since 2018 because of their targeting is estimated in the amount no less than $15 million each, for a total of $30 million. Both plaintiffs, Armando and Berta Jasmine Delatory, have sustained permanent brain damage that has caused them the condition known as Havana syndrome because of defendants' joint liability stemming from the DO attacks they have suffered since 2018 because of their targeting. The permanent physical damages for each of them is estimated in $20 million, for a total of $40 million. Armando and Berta Jasmine's daughter, J.D., suffers from V2K since at least August 2022. The permanent damages this torture has caused and will continue to cause her developing brain is unknown at this time. The suffering, fear, and anguish the V2K has caused her is estimated in the amount no less than $10 million. Aside from the payment of the damages alleged above, plaintiffs Delatory requests that in light of the malicious intent behind their targeting, experimentation, torture, and suffering, the court hold defendants Ray, Cable, Mayorkas, and Weinstein jointly liable to them for the reasonable amount in punitive damages in the amount estimated for $408 million. Plaintiffs Armando and Berta Jasmine Delatory also request the defendants FBI and defendant DHS be held jointly liable for the payment of the damages they have sustained for the illegal disclosure of their inclusion in the TSDB that has them cause considerably and imperillibly social, professional, and personal repercussions, suffering anxiety and loss. Their damages are estimated in minimum amount of $1 million each per year, depending on the quality and quantity of the derogatory information shared outside of the agency, to be calculated when defendants provide the evidence of the extent of the disclosure. Plaintiffs Armando, Berta, Jasmine, Delatorre, and J.D. request that the court hold defendants jointly liable in the payment of reasonable attorney fees and costs under 28 U.S.C. 2412, 5 U.S.G. 552 A4EI, and Bivens. Plaintiffs Delatorre specifically request that the courts order defendants to remove their names as well as that of their daughter, J.D., from the TSDB, and instruct defendants to abstain from including them in any other illegal database used to carry out human torture and experimentation or any other improper purpose. And that is it. That's Armando.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
And family. So, that this program that we, and thank you so much, Tanya. You can mute now. Thank you. This program is so vile and vicious and ruthless that they target the mother, the father, and the baby girl, the young girl. So it's so they this is the compensation being asked, and I'm sure there'll be a lot more discovered once we get our day in court. So I think the Fikri versus FBI case, really, they spent years trying to get to this point, and after he was tortured and imprisoned, and after refusing to be an informant and saying that he was on the targeted list, the fact that the no-fly list, the fact that they put him on a no-fly list is a benefit to us, because it was something concrete that points to the list. It's something concrete. We know we're on the list and we're being harassed and tortured and gang stalked, and they want to call it fantastical. But for them to, you can fly or not fly, is concrete. There's nothing fantastical about it. You didn't let me fly because my name is on the list. And it's on the list because, and you won't say why. So that is so concrete, and now they have to look at the entire list. So, like London Bridge is falling down. Humpty Dumpty fell off the wall, and people can't see it yet, the other side, but it's going to quickly be unveiled. And so we're taking bites of the elephant. We're taking big chunks. A big chunk was taken. Maybe they took off the leg today. It's a big chunk out of the elephant. And so our case, I know I keep saying this, I think that our attorney, who was the only one that would take this targeted justice lawsuit, Richard Lighthouse, looked for 5 years for someone brave and brazen enough to do it, and Attorney Anna Toledo did it. And she took that slingshot and shot that rock, and the giant has fallen and doesn't know it. Or maybe he's in the middle of falling. He's still flailing his arms and trying to catch his balance. That's what he's doing. But he's going to hit that ground hard. And these lawsuits are helping us because they help to prove the point. And what we're hearing around the world, around the nation, the young girl we heard from Texas University, helps to prove our point. So it's by the time Anna Toledo gets in that courthouse, it's just gonna be a win. We're gonna prevail, and they're just gonna have to figure out what the damages are. And we're watching carefully because the lawsuit is a flawless model for our lawyers to pick up and take for each and every one of us. So when people say, they're only helping the 18 plaintiffs, no, you pick it up, you listen. We're listening because we're trying to find out whose case we're most similar to. As was mentioned here, Armando is gang stalked, in gangs daily, and he was gang stalked, and the things that he's going through in the V2K with the wife and the daughter, so you figure out who's out of out of all the 18 that you're most closely resemble, and that's the one you take to your lawyer and create your claim and ask for those monies. And you also watch and see how much money everybody gets, whether they settle, whether they do, whatever they get, that's what you're going to ask for. So it'll be simpler, and it's already smooth for you. Okay, so this is paving the way, TIs. All right, so all right, that's where we stand with that, and we're going to open up. We're not going to open up, but we're going to, if you want to ask any question that pertains to tonight or just in general, then please get in queue, and we'll answer questions, and we're going to hopefully end sooner than later. All right. Thank you for being here. Thank you for choosing the J.A.M. Thank you for reading, Tanya. Thank you, Major P, for breaking that down. Dr. Anna Maria, she spoke so fast I couldn't get all of that. Thank you so much. Thank you for the supplements. I hope this helped Jahir in terms of answering your supplement question. Let me say this for Lisa. Lisa, you requested somebody that deals with mental health, and I have a person, and I'm going to bring her on in April. I think it's April 16th. So we're planning a day to deal with mental health. And if anyone else wants to request a special J.A.M. Topic, please do so. We're going to do a post-resurrection special day on April 2nd, and we have some good things planned. So we're just going to continue to move forward as we journey to freedom, because it's inevitable, guys. It's inevitable. So keep the faith. Preserve yourself. I did want to mention one other thing about 702. That I noticed in one of the articles that it's a slim win. Like it's saying that it's so they're still going back and forth. So if anyone wants to still write to the elected officials, this would be a good time to write them and let them know that that we, talk about us and tell them your story and encourage them to end the 702, reauthorization of the 702. They should not be able to investigate U.S. citizens without a warrant. And I believe there's a bipartisan effort going on. I believe we will win, but, just to make sure, this would be a good time to send a letter. So if you want to think we should do an initiative, you can certainly mention that when we open, when you if you're in queue, and if not, as if this thing expires on April 19th, I'm recommending on April 20th that we get new phones, new devices, because now they can't go to the service providers and try to get records and our information. And if we think we need to create a letter, we'll create a letter to the service providers and so forth to let them know that it has that time's up, that they, it has ended Section 702, and they should no longer look at our records illegally without a warrant. Okay, so those are some of the things that we need to do in some of our J.A.M. homework. So please, we'll take the questions in queue now. Remember that we're not taking any anonymous calls, and please do one question. Please don't get back in queue, and let's do this as quickly as possible. All right, let's go. Hi, we hear you.
Hi, sorry if there's a background noise. Is it too noisy? Because I'm at a supermarket. Is it noisy?
Okay, it's okay, Saqib. Go ahead. Hi, it's okay.
Okay, I have only two things quickly to mention. One thing that we discussed on yesterday PACT's call, and that Derek liked this idea, so I figured maybe bring this to your attention, something for the future if you're interested in doing that. Like doing a cross-country TI bike ride, like bicycle, like 20, 30, 40, whatever TIs can do a bike ride, wearing Targeted Justice and PACs, T-shirts and flags, and this way we can even let any small town that they're going to be crossing by, let them know, hey, we're doing this. They may want to interview somebody or maybe do a little 5-second, 10-second thing on TV. So it will be good for nationally everybody's awareness.
I love it. Absolutely. I love it.
That's one thing.
So, yeah.
Go ahead. I'm listening. Go ahead.
I was just going to say that will certainly bring attention when you have people riding bikes. People love that, and maybe that would be a nice way to get the news people to say, well, what's going on? So good. Thank you.
And especially when every town we're going to cross by, we can let them know, hey, we're going through this. You might want to. Small towns, we'd be very happy to put something in a newspaper or on the news. Hey, tomorrow noon at the town square, that about 40 bikers will be passing through or stopping by. They are for this cause. They're doing this, and then maybe some local TV might even interview them for like 5 seconds, 10 seconds, put them on local news. Okay, that's one thing. Second thing I was going to say was. And this came to my idea because I watched a couple of whistleblowers interviews of FBI, CIA, NSA whistleblowers, even Edward Snowden on RT News. RT News, in top menu, it says shows. In that shows, there is a show dedicated toward whistleblowers. So I'm thinking if they have a contact information, if we approach them, would they be interested? We can send them a link of a couple of Anna Toledo's and Richard Lighthouse other interviews that they have done, and that they can look at that, and they might be very interested in interviewing them, and they are watched by millions and millions of people all around the world.
Okay, that's RT News, the whistleblower show on RT News?
Yes, R like Robert, T like Tom, RT News. And I think Richard Lighthouse might even know this channel, so you can something to discuss. You can discuss that internally.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you for always looking out. Thank you for being here. Thank you for your contribution.
One last thing. If you go to rtnews.com, make sure you go to top where it says in the menu you'll see top drop down, and you see shows. When you click shows, it'll give you a breakdown like. Different type of shows, and one of them is whistleblowers, and there you will see that 40, 50, 60 or past shows, and you will see NSA whistleblower, this whistleblower, that, and you can listen to them an hour, detailed interview. So based on that, I think this is a prime place to approach, and you never know, they might take us. Thank you.
All right, thank you. I appreciate that. Thank you. Sir, let me ask you one question. You still there? No, he's gone. Okay.
Yes, I'm still here.
Okay. I just want to know, did somebody say that they were going to coordinate the bike ride? Is somebody doing it, or they just liked it?
No. I brought this up to attention of last night call on PACT International, because they were talking about walking cross country. So I told them that's kind of not very feasible because a lot of people will give up. You have to be in very good health to do 4,000-mile walk. It might take forever. And then when you do bike ride, you can do it much, much quicker. And then you can have one car following them with hazard lights on and flags on. And in case there's a health emergency that they can address, or they have a first aid kit, or they can, something happens. So this will be much easily done, and we can grab attention. And Richard, what was his name? Derek Robinson liked the idea very much. So I figured if I bring to your attention, maybe in combination they can do it. It will be easier, maybe. I don't know.
Okay. Thank you so much. I love it.
Thank you.
All right. Okay. Next caller, please. Hi, we can hear you. Hello? Hi, do you have a question? Okay, next caller, please.
Hi, GoGi.
Hi.
Hi, this is Chris from Idaho. I just wanted to tell you guys that I talked to Armando before this call, and I received my infamous Silent Night device, and
great.
Now, yep, and it's hooked up and it's going, and I'm going to monitor what happens to me because I've been having some crazy nightmares and a few other things. So I'm going to give you a progress report in a week, but I'm so excited about this. You don't even know. So I just wanted to let everybody know.
Thank you, and sleep tight. Thank you.
Uh-huh.
I look forward to a good report. Thank you so much. All right, next caller, please.
Hi, GoGi. It's Millicent again. I wanted to ask a question about Armando's case that was just read. Is it separate from the targeted justice lawsuit? Does he have a separate lawsuit, or that's it? That's part of the documentation.
Yes, ma'am. That's a part. He's one of the 18 plaintiffs. So we've been reading. We're only up to number 5. But we started reading them. So he's number 5 of the 18.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
All right,
Can I make a quick comment?
Sure.
One of the things I forgot to tell you all about what's in your kitchen, orange juice. Orange juice helps to shield the body from radiation. And if you're going to have a radiological test like X-ray, CT scan, MRI, it's recommended that you drink a glass of orange juice before, and it'll help to shield your body.
I love it. Oh, I didn't even know that. Okay. So, and I stay away from it because of the high sugar content, but that's really important to know, everybody. So orange juice, thank you for that, Dr. Millicent. Love it. And now I remember what Tanya was supposed to do. She was going to share about some plants that help. She thought I forgot. See, so, I'm clearing up. All right, so thank you for that, Dr. Millicent. Next caller, please. Orange juice, everybody.
Hi, this is Sandy. You know what? Dr. Millicent just asked my question about Mr. Armando. I was going to ask who his lawyer was and if he was in Texas, because their cases, all of our cases are kind of similar. But he is a part of the part of the 18.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
He's one of the 18. So we're going to watch as the case prevails and moves forward, and we're going to see what happens so that we'll know what to do next. Remember, it's hard to get someone to take our case right now, although I know you have a lot of concrete stuff, concrete evidence.
Yeah. I do have one person that I'm a friend that's a constable here. Finally, I think I talked to her about it. But anyway, she referred me to an attorney, and so I'm going to call him and talk to him tomorrow. But she was aware. She knew what a targeted individual was, and she said that her sister was one, and she left years ago to move to Dubai. So she lives in Dubai, but a constable here, African-American woman whose sister is a target individual for maybe 10 or 20 years before we even all came out with all of, the information we have. She was one back in the day and decided to move to Dubai. And no targeting.
Wow.
Yeah, so
that's something.
So I was thinking of doing a show and having her on. I don't know how to ask her about it, but I think that would be more a credible person as well to have another what is a targeted individual and have a constable on this.
I would love to hear that, especially someone who was able to move successfully, because we hear that when you move out of the country, it's the same thing. So blessings to her, and that's a good move. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so I'll find out more information, and then I'll be back on next time and see if I have any answers. I'll let everyone know.
Okay, thank you. That's Sandy from the I Shall Bloom show.
Yes, I Shall
YouTube.
Bloom show. Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Mm-hmm.
Thank
you. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Next caller,
Hi,
please.
this is Lauren.
Hi.
Lauren again. Hi.
Hi, Lauren.
With reference to the information that I sent you about the new study, find no evidence of brain injury in Havana syndrome cases. I didn't get on the call at the very beginning. Did you talk about that at all?
Oh no, I need to read it first, so I'll address it next week. Okay. Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay.
All right.
Yeah. So I guess my next question is, I'm still very big on the psychological issue of what we're having to deal with, and I believe I heard you say that there's going to be a therapist or some therapist to come on and address the issues, because we have got to remove the stigma. I don't think we're going to be able to go anywhere without getting the stigma removed. So it would be good for us to maybe think about that very seriously.
Yes, she can do that. So I spoke to her about, the process, and so she's going to come and share it and so forth. So, she's only licensed in certain areas, and some things can be telemed or telehealth visits, whatever, but other things have to be in person. So, and she's in New Hampshire. So we'll talk about it further on April 16th.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, you're welcome. All right. Next caller, please.
Hi, everybody. Is Armando still on the line?
I think so.
I am. I'm here.
Okay, good.
Hi, Armando. My name is Christy. I'm in Texas. So I'm a longtime B2K survivor. I'm 32 years in. So I'm really sorry about your baby girl. The last time that really a lot of that was brought out, though there has been more across, was Jesus Mendoza. He worked the same case that you did, similar. I'm curious about the Silent Night that you've developed.
Yes.
And I've read a little bit about it, but I wanted to listen more to the call. My question is that just something that stands alone in your house?
Yes.
Oh,
Yeah, you just pretty much just hang it up anywhere close to where you sleep or where you dwell most of the day, and just let it do its work.
Okay. All right. Well, I just wanted to ask that, just how to use it, and where. I know you have to keep it away. It would probably be better to put it maybe in a corner where nothing surrounds it.
That'd probably be the best.
Okay.
I mean, it's not going to be shooting out sparks or anything like that, if that's what you're worried about.
No. I just noticed that you need to keep it away from any flammables, obviously, because it's a spark. I get that.
Right. Yeah. On the disclaimer that you signed before purchase, all the warnings are on there, and one of them is keeping away from any kind of flammable vapors or any kind of appliances that use natural gas or propane, just to be safe.
Okay. All right. I appreciate it so much.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am. I'm actually we're working on the actual instructions to put on the website with pictures and captions under them to try to explain how to use it. And it's not anything, it's not rocket science. So it's pretty simple and self-explanatory, pretty much.
And I know this is a delicate question, but may I ask how your baby girl expressed to you that she knew something was wrong?
No, it's fine. You can ask. It was what she was. What she was sick.
Sorry, Armando. Sorry.
Yeah.
No, you cannot talk about that. Sorry.
Okay. That's right.
Okay.
That's right.
Sorry, this is Attorney Ana Toledo. No.
Okay.
That's off limits. Thank you. Sorry about that.
It's no worries. That's why I asked if it could be. That's why. And you're fine. Okay.
It's okay. Yes, and ma'am, let me say this. Let me say this, ma'am. In terms of the Silent Night, it's enclosed. It's so safely enclosed. So yeah.
Okay. Thank you for that information. I do appreciate it. Armando, thank you for your valuable time. I do appreciate it.
No problem. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you. Okay. All right. Next caller, please.
Hi, this is Lisa from Los Angeles.
Hi, Lisa.
Hi, I wanted to know, Armando, about the Silent Night. Is it does it protect you from like dew hits?
It can, depending on how you set it up. From what we found with the research that we've done, it actually attenuates some of the dew hits. So what you're essentially getting hit with is something a lot less dense, I guess you could say, with the power density that they use coming from the antennas. It cancels out some of the negative charge ions that those pulses bring to us. I'm not claiming that it completely blocks it all out, but we've seen positive data from the tests that we've conducted as far as the dew hits. Soon we'll have some. Hopefully, we'll have some testimonies to put up on the website too. So people, this is just getting started. We just started this 2 weeks ago. So, we just gotta give it some time and let the people speak up about it when it, once they try it and experience it.
Okay, perfect. Thank you so much.
No problem.
Okay. All right. Next caller, please.
Hi, Gaji. Armando, hi. This is Lauren. It's good to hear you on here again.
How you doing, Lauren?
Okay. Well, thank God for life.
Yeah.
I wanted to know, how much is the unit?
Right now it's $299 plus the $25 for shipping. Anywhere in the 49 states. That's a complete kit right there with a 30-day money back guarantee. So if it doesn't work out for you, send it back, and once we receive it and check to see that it's the same as when we sent it, then we refund you the full refund, excluding the shipping cost, of course.
Okay, so is this mounted? Can it be mounted down? Because the issue that I'm having is that whenever I leave my house, the perpetrators are coming in. I'm just afraid that they might come in and try to do something or even take it. Is it something that can be mounted?
Mounted where? Or where are you trying to mount it to?
I mean, wherever in the house it would be safe. I heard you say it. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, wherever you hang it, as long as it's not touching anything, and you don't have any dogs or kids running around. If you hang it high enough, of course they won't be able to reach it. But it's easy to disconnect from the wall and just wrap the wires up and take it with you if you're worried about the perps messing it up. And that is actually that has happened to Miss Ana Toledo. So she takes hers everywhere she goes.
How much?
Yeah,
how much
I would suggest taking it.
How much does it weigh?
1.5 pounds.
Oh, okay. That's not bad at all. Okay, very good. So your information is on Targeted Justice?
No, it's not on Targeted Justice. I have a website with the information pertaining to the device.
It's on Target Source.
Go ahead.
TargetSourceLLC.com.
Did you say Targeted Source?
No, just Target Source.
Source.
Yeah.
Okay, can you spell that again?
I'll spell
it.
T-A-R.
I got the Target, yeah.
Source, SOURCE LLC.com.
Okay, thank you.
Yes, ma'am.
Good to hear from you.
You too.
Okay, all right. That's all we have tonight, guys. Thank you for joining the Jam. We're going to open up just to say goodnight, and we look forward to. I'm sorry.
No, I just wanted to say. Yeah, go ahead. I'm sorry. I was just saying. Go ahead. I'm sorry. All right. We have been having a lot of problems with people not being able to reach the site. So we've been working on that, and it seems like they're starting to let, I guess, not being able to block everybody now, but just keep trying if you can't get in there. We're working on it, and we're also working on social media platforms. So look for us there on Twitter and Facebook soon. That's all. Thank you.
All right. Okay. Thank you so much. Yes, keep trying. You know how anything that's good and that will help, they try to interfere with. So TargetSourceLLC.com. Check it out. And I look forward to seeing you guys back on the Jam. We need to talk about our Jam homework. We have work to do. We have some things coming up, and I want to keep you in the news. We're going to do another talk show-like thing in San Antonio in April. So we have a nice April schedule coming up. So look out for the news, and that's it. We're going to open up so we can say our goodbyes. Yeah. Thank you for joining the Jam, everybody. So long. Thank you for being here. Thank you, everybody. Thank you for being a great host. Thank you. Good. Thank you so much. Thank you, guys. Thank you for being here. Thank you for choosing the Jam.
Thank you for doing it.
Thank you, and thank you for keep following the news. They're telling our story. It's going to come out. Watch.
All right.
Amen. Love you guys. Thank you here. Choose us again next Tuesday.
Love you too, GoGi's.
All right, now thank you.